us.
And we are live. Welcome back, everyone, to the Land of Dreams and Nightmares. I'm your Dungeon Master, Esper, and with us, once again, we have the three fine fellows, Warsor, Dennis, and Adam. Do you guys want to real quickly tell everyone your characters?
Yeah, I'm Adam, and I'm playing Kivish, the Dwarven Circle of Dreams Druid.
Dennis, Warsor.
Hey, my name is Dennis, and I play Lykarr Talvantis, the level 6 now Storm Sorcerer.
I'm Warsor. I play Noxiqual, or Captain Noxiqual, the still level 5 Warlock, but on the cusp of becoming level 6 hexblade.
It's so close you can taste it.
I really can.
When we last were with our heroes, they had gone back to the Horncomb Lodge. There were a number of different schemings that they executed. They went through with a marriage ceremony, two at least, Lykarr and Noxiqual. They married two of the daughters of Lord Kyle Eck, which are actually somewhat older daughters. But the night of the wedding feast, they pulled off their heist, and they were able to steal back all of the stolen waters from the pool in the Ambrosia Temple, and they made off into the night as everyone was sleeping. And they have a wagon with 20 barrels of the stolen back water, true draft horses. Kobe the Lion's with you still. Kobe killed the only guardsman that really caught on to your plot, so you have his body. I believe you also have the 3 prisoners, right?
Yep.
That's
All
correct.
in the name of Tanyan, ever rest his slowly being digested carcass.
Yeah, Tanyan, who became cat food.
We'll get Kobe the Lion a saber-toothed tiger tattoo when he gets back to the ship to remember Tanyan.
I think that'd be very fitting.
I think so too.
He's called Kobe the Lion. So.
You gathered my same idea.
So initially, the crewmen nicknamed him that because he has the big, bushy, shaggy hair that they thought looked like a lion's mane. But he has learned a bit of courage.
Yeah, I think that he's definitely earned his place among my crew. So, yeah, I'll definitely have a story for the crew when we get back.
Oh, you sure will. And then you have the 3 prisoners with you. So let's see. We have the young boy. Yep. We have the elven woman, and then there's a man. And all 3 of them are a little odd.
Yes, magic have been done to them.
The boy, you detected that something magical had happened to him, something supernatural, as well as the man. The elf, let's see, what is her name? Volna.
Yeah.
Volna, you didn't think that she had specifically like a spell cast or something, but she did have an odd way about her. She was very, what would you call her? Kind of fanatic?
Yes, she definitely was fanatical. She had
Zealous.
Zealous, yeah. Not in an aggressive way, but in just a very self-assured, almost
maybe self-righteous and a little bit too high on her horse, but not fanatical. She wasn't like frantic or
She had encountered Thanel, the Wandering Prophetess.
Yes, she had.
Yes.
So the elf is Volna, the young boy who was basically a thief from the caves, is Bowen, and Marley is the man who was accused of abusing his wife, Jan. Marley and Jan Eppenkoff.
Can I
have a history of going to try and see Thanel, but not quite getting there.
He tried. Hey, Adam, you're coming through a little quiet. Do you have a way to get the mic closer or turn up a level or something?
Turn it up, yeah.
Is that a Legend of Zelda shirt?
Yes, it is.
Oh, man. I was just talking about that game last night. Takes me back. Oh, takes me back.
It's good memories.
Oh, very much so. Every day after kindergarten, go to my friend's house and play Legend of Zelda.
Yep. What I was going to ask was, during the trip assuming there's a little bit of time where nothing's happening, can I examine them a little closer to see if I can figure out what was done to them? Like, were they dominated? Were they gayest or whatever?
So you made out from Horncomb Lodge in the middle of the night.
Fairly early in the morning, yeah.
Yeah. And we left it at that.
Yes.
So what do you all think? What's kind of your, in what sort of way are you going? Are you just like creeping along quietly? Are you like lashing the horses? Like,
well, we don't want to ride them too hard and like kill them, but speed should definitely be a priority.
I think, if I may, and you guys tell me if you agree, we should start off quiet until we get beyond the sentries, of the walls and stuff, and then pick up speed during the night when it's cooler out. We can move a little faster, since we kind of know the way that we're going. And then we can slow down a bit, to a more reasonable pace once the sun begins to come up.
Yeah, I thought we had already gotten past sentries, but yes, that sounds like a good plan.
Just a general.
You made your way out of Horncomb Lodge. I did a check on it, and the guards were really none the wiser. And so you kind of roll out in a cautious, quiet way, and you get out back into these canyon-esque pass here, and this is going to be taking you into the night. So Noxiqual, you had some interest with these passengers. It's the middle of the night, but they're all three awake because like they're now busting out of Horncomb Lodge, and they've got some kind of strange plan, and they've been kind of swept up into this, and they're heading into the night, into the Badlands. So though it's real late, they're awake.
I want to examine them, see if like this is an ongoing effect, if it's still, like were they dominated, were they nightmare infected, like what's going on with them.
Okay, so you want to examine them now that you have direct physical access to them. Do you have any light source?
I can see in the dark perfectly.
Let's see. Typically dark vision lets you see darkness like dim light. Is that what you have?
I have devil sight.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess for you, it's even better than that.
It says you can see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical.
Nice. Okay. For the sake of everyone else, any light sources?
So you said regular dark vision isn't working?
Regular dark vision does work, but you've got horses, you've got people. Right. It's a clear night, and the moon is nearly full, so there is a fair amount of light from that. Do you trust that? Is it enough? Is it sufficient for the horses for what you're doing? Or do you want to be careful, get some extra light going so they can see exactly where they're stepping?
I would put that to the people that don't have dark vision, namely Lykarr.
Oh, yeah. I have dark vision. I'm a half elf.
Yeah, Lykarr has it. Everyone in your party has it. Kobe doesn't.
Oh yeah, okay. Just Kobe just stays right beside the wagon.
Yeah. Okay. So, for the sake of not drawing attention to yourselves, you light no lights, and you're going through the night. Again, fairly well illuminated from this bright moon overhead. Make whatever sort of skill check you want to do, or just describe exactly what you do in Noxiqual.
Okay. Noxiqual will do. Let me just check my abilities. Okay. He would like to give them a sort of a once over, look in their eyes as they're walking, just kind of examine them for any sort of marking. Sometimes magic can leave physical marks on you, a leftover sort of blemish, if you will, and things that telltale, arcana knowledgeable people can read these signs. So he's looking for circles under the eyes, things maybe behind the ear, little symbols, arcane things. Who knows?
Okay.
So, Arcana check is what I'm attempting.
All right.
And that is a 21 total.
You examine all three of them, right?
I start with the man,
Mm-hmm.
the boy, and the woman last, because the woman, I suspect he's still being tampered with.
Mm-hmm. Marley, none of them possess any markings. No one possesses anything that looks like they were part of a ritual that had a physical effect on their body. And there's no any sort of like magic runes or anything of the obvious of that sort. But strictly through your knowledge of the arcane, you do deduce a couple things, subtle hints that clue you in. Starting with Marley, the man. Someone has cursed him. Someone has cast some kind of spell, lingering spell or lasting spell on him. And when he tries to talk, to express himself in any way, he just swears.
Interesting.
That explains the way he acted last time we talked to him.
Yep, it does. And it could be, honestly, pretty suspicious when he's been accused of violence and he can't even defend himself except by swearing violently.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's certainly raises a curious question.
And so Bowen's curse, I guess, is of kleptomania, and Valna's curse is of overpiousness. Is that how it's working?
I'll rule out Valna now. You detect nothing magical. There hasn't been any kind of tampering of any sort.
Yeah. I have one thing I can do. I can't dispel magic. But what about the boy? Does he have the same thing or no?
The boy's situation is even more dire. It's almost like his soul isn't even there. It's not that it almost isn't there. It's nearly gone. It's almost as if his soul was being extracted, but the ritual was not completed. But he's just not all there.
So it's a third level spell, and I can't cast it a lot, but I actually do have Dispel Magic if you thought it might be useful.
It might on the curse. The boy,
right.
I want to ask him some questions.
Mm-hmm.
Did any of the Horncomb Lodge people do anything to you while you were their prisoner?
They gave me really bad food. I hated it.
Did they do any sort of magical experiments on you, or perhaps anyone came to you and, you had trouble remembering periods during your captivity?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Maybe we could ask the elf woman. Maybe,
Yes, that's an excellent point. Did anyone ever take the boy out of his cell at any point, alone, and then came back and he seemed kind of drained, I guess?
Or different.
I did not observe any such thing.
Was the boy imprisoned before you got there, or was he imprisoned after you were imprisoned?
Good question.
I was the first. I've been in that cell for some time. But now I am free, and we head to the temple in the wastelands.
I wonder if it's something about him being a caver. If there's something in the caves that did this to him.
I'm wondering if there's some kind of, not arcana, but something that Lord Eck is doing, possibly draining souls to extend his life.
I thought of that, but then there should have been some sort of indication of that.
So based on what I know about the map, you might actually be potentially onto something, because I know the location of, purely out of character, the caves like Devil's Den are not too terribly far from the juncture between the mainland and Mergelon's Jaw. So there could be a connection to a cave with something going on.
It's a thought. The caves there in the center, the plateau. We know nothing about them.
Right,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah. The Devil's Den is quite a ways away.
Yeah.
But
fair ways away, not too far though.
no, and underneath the earth, who's to say that there isn't a direct connection?
Mm-hmm.
But rather than assuming there's a unicorn,
Right.
it could just be
a horse.
Yeah. Exactly. So I want to ask the boy about the caves. Like, so long as I have time to do this, Esper, within reason, I'm not going to waste time if this is going down a rabbit hole. But I'd like to ask him if I can put the questions to him in a sort of a friendly way that he doesn't feel, defensive about it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he'll let something slip like, oh yeah, we all had to do a ritual every, full moon or something when we were in the caves or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, so you asked the boy
about what cave life is like.
And just to give you a sense, I think he's about maybe 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Something about that. Okay, so you ask him about stuff like that, and he, I'll paraphrase it because he probably does like a little kid rambling thing.
Yeah.
But it sounds like they have some manner of ritual or cult of some sort. So, that's about everywhere has that.
And wasn't
he doesn't say anything that stands out as particularly of the inclination, soul draining inclination.
Was it the Cavers or the Horncomb Lodge that worshipped the old one that was known as like the Hunger or like something?
The Horned Hunger.
The Horned
You're not sure about the Cavers. There are some in Horncomb Lodge and in other places that worship or at least give some kind of tribute to the Horned Hunger.
Okay. I'll just ask the kid just straight out, like, do the Cavers worship the Horned Hunger or do they have their own patron?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's one of the powerful ones. And sometimes my mom, she would bring me there, and sometimes she would tell me to play. And one time I saw a man with her, and they didn't have any clothes on.
Yeah, understood. Well, I think I've pieced together what we need to know here.
Yeah.
Kivish had kind of mused about dispel magic, and it sounds like you're consulting with him there about that, Nox.
Yes.
And so Nox is believing that whatever is affecting this man could be dispelled in theory. The boy, you don't think dispel magic is going to work. You don't think there's actually a present effect on him. It's more something that happened to him in the past.
Yeah.
Do you want to give it a try on Morley?
Yeah, I would try it on the
man. Is meaning us well. Is there reason you have to think he's of use to us more than a common criminal?
I feel that so long as you do not need this magic right now, I'd like to hear his story. He might have useful information that, since he was one of the Lord X man, he lived in Lord X's town for so long.
Right.
He may know what is going to be sent after us. He may be able to help us.
I see. Oh, and this is like right after you've explained the curse and stuff.
Yes, I explained the curse to you, and I think that he was set up. He may not, in fact, be in any way related to the crime.
Right.
So,
what do you think, Kivish? You give it a try?
Just going to bring up the exact rules about the spell magic.
Yeah. So when you cast it, any
spell of third
level or lower is dispelled. If it's higher level, you have to make it'll be in your case a wisdom check.
DC plus the spell's level, yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead
And then if you had higher level spell slots, you can cast it at higher level spell slots to automatically dispel like a fourth level for a fourth level, for example.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let's see. I'm going to do some verbal and somatic components, some gesticulating, some chanting, some incantating, and throughout all that, bring together the magic to concentrate it into the form of dispelling his magic that is magicking him so magically.
Make your wisdom check.
Okay, so it's a high-level spell. Of course it got stuck in the tower. And there we go. It is a not great. It is an 11 plus... it's a 14.
Okay.
I
you work your magic on him, and there is like a little releasing sound. Oh my God, I can talk. Come on, we gotta go. Come on, He starts freaking out. He's looking back over his back in the direction of Horncombe Lodge. He seems incredibly concerned that Maxwell, he's gonna get like the guards, and they're gonna like come ride you guys down and just kill you all out in the desert.
Can I like push my palm into his forehead real quick for a bit? You need to calm down, sir. If you keep talking at the mile a minute, we are going to go nowhere fast.
Did you see John? Did you see my wife?
No.
I can't say I know what she looks like.
Everybody make a intelligence check.
19.
17.
Yes.
15.
Yeah, all three of you do remember her. No one ever actually talked to her or paid her much attention, but you do remember her. She was there that morning when the three of you went to see the kind of tribunal that Lord Kyle was holding over the three accused prisoners, and she was there. She is the wife of Marley, Marley and Jan Eppenkoff. So you remember who she is, but you don't really know anything about her. You just kind of like saw her there, and there was like some mentioning.
Yes, I saw her at the tribunal, but what of it?
So there's his whole tongue is like pulsating in his mouth, and he's trying to put together a coherent thought. He's babbling and kind of like rambling and overwhelmed with emotion.
So the thing he was accused of was violence against her. So I'm guessing if somebody went to that length to cover it up, he probably didn't do it, and there's probably a pretty good reason that somebody wanted him accused of something that would lead to it was a death penalty for him, right?
I can't fault your logic.
That's what I was thinking.
No, there was no mentioning of a death penalty, only for the thief.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I mean,
and his case or his turn never actually came up before you all halted the proceedings.
Tell us who cursed you. What happened?
Okay. Oh, it was about 5, 7, 10. It was some days ago, and my wife, she is a difficult woman. Always has been, and well, I thought that she was betraying me. I thought she had a lover. And so I found the old cellar where she was stealing off to at night, while I was working the mines.
I think I see where this is going.
And I found her there, but she wasn't with a lover. She was with another man and this boy. And she was doing something to him, something devilish. And I was overcome with fear, and I snapped. And I grabbed her from the boy. I think she was going to kill him. And I said, "What are you doing to that boy?" And I grabbed her and I choked her. I was out of my mind. But she got loose, and the other man, he hit me. And I followed him outside. I was spitting, I was fighting, I was punching. And next I knew, she was saying some strange words I didn't understand. And I was just lost in my rage. I was nothing but rage after that.
This other man, did you get a good look at him?
He was wearing a cloak. I couldn't see his face very well. I couldn't place him.
Interesting. Anything stand out about him to you? A voice? Did he say anything?
He was calling for help. He was calling for the guards, saying I was attacking my wife. That's the last I remember.
Yes. Interesting.
Where are we going?
We're leaving Horncombe Lodge. We said our farewells to the Lord, and I do not believe that, given your circumstances, it'd be wise for you to return there.
Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. What am I gonna do? Where are we going?
I can offer you a new opportunity for your future if you wish it. I have a ship, you see, and I'm always looking for men who are willing to take up arms to take their future into their own hands.
Kivish looks at Marley and goes,
What is that?
it's a hook.
Yes. But that's something we can discuss.
I know who you are.
Yes.
You're Nox the pirate.
Captain Noxiqual.
Yeah, that's what I meant. We're going to your ship now?
We are going to make a detour, but then, yes, we'll be headed back to the ship.
He looks around again.
Trying to figure out where he is.
Wait, I think we're going the wrong way. What's this detour? He's asking lots of questions. Like everything that's happening, yeah.
Is he moving? Like, so long as he keeps moving, I don't care if he asks questions.
He's moving. Yeah.
Okay.
He's probably trying to get you all to move even faster. He seems very, very concerned.
Yeah.
He keeps looking back over his shoulder, like he's expecting Maxwell to come riding out, like galloping on his stallion any moment now.
Yep. No, we're headed south. You see, there's a temple far to the south.
We're going there?
Yes.
Isn't that place haunted?
That is what the Lord would want you to believe. In fact, it's quite the opposite.
It is actually a really nice place if you know where to look.
I believe that it will provide protection against the Lord coming after us. And once we have stopped there and gained the boons that we are going to collect from the patron there, we'll be on our way. Rest assured. I have a plan.
Make a persuasion check, would you, Noxiqual?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to just kind of gauge how this guy is. Yeah, how he is.
15 total.
15. Okay.
Yep.
He's following. He's very, very concerned, but you've essentially given him the best option that he can see at the moment. So he's fairly suspicious of everything, but he's following.
Yep.
All right, so you've got him for the most part contained, at least for now. Night is going to press on.
Yep.
And these horses are getting tired.
We'll walk them and rest them right around dawn, I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Because now is the least oppressive part of the day. So if we rest them at dawn, then walk them a little bit, we can just complete stop during the hottest part of the day as it gets closer to noon.
Okay.
Maybe depending on where we are, we can kind of hug one of the cliffs for shade.
Okay. So Nox's plan is let's slow our pace, take things at an easy pace, and get close to one of the sides of one of the canyon walls.
When it gets hotter, yes.
Whatever happened to Brecca the Rock?
You left her back at the wedding.
Yeah, you didn't see what happened.
Didn't
Yeah,
we?
you didn't see what happened to her. You guys, you made out of there in the middle of night and partying.
You were the one that called her in, man.
I know. Well, I didn't know she would just show up there. But yeah, no, I should have. Well, now we have an insider, I guess.
No, I'm pretty sure that she's either going to be accused of helping us, or she's going to be kind of pissed that you just up and left her.
She'll be fine. She goes situation.
Well, that's between you and her.
Okay. The day breaks. The sun rises in the east. You get the horses to the kind of the eastern canyon wall to get the shadows falling over them. And then then the time comes for needed rest. And by this point, like the boy, he's asleep. He's just like there in the wagon, like with every little rock in the road, just kind of bumping there. Kobe's snoring. Is he the one at the reins? Who's got the reins here?
We can trade off. Kobe definitely. Let Kobe take a rest. I'll hold the reins.
Hold the reins. Is the party going to stop? Or are you going to make a camp? Or are you going to sleep? What's the plan?
Can we push on till noon? We got to keep pushing.
You want to keep pushing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep an eye on the horses, though.
Yeah, I'm going to make a check for the horses. The horses don't look like they're doing so well. They've got lather building up on them. There's like they're like really panting. They look like they're getting exhausted.
Okay. Well,
Stop.
we gotta stop and we gotta water the horses. So we'll stop in the shade and give it an hour. We have to give it at least an hour for them to recover.
Yeah. Although I'm also gonna see if there's a place so that I could put Tynan on the team. See if he, being small but strong, can maybe help.
Okay, so you'll add Tynan into pulling the load once you guys start up again. Okay.
Provided the other horses aren't afraid of him, but.
Let's see. They don't really seem to pay him too much mind. Nothing. Yeah, they don't have any significant reactions to him. And this is nature powers that you're wielding here, so yeah, they seem pretty well okay. What about Lykarr? Do you have any thoughts, ideas? Do you have anything you want to do during this break here? That's like a short rest is what's happening.
I think I'm just going to take it easy and keep an eye behind us for any signs of pursuit.
Okay. Noxiqual, you've had a concern for some time of your self-defense, literally your personal protection when you're getting into these scenarios of danger. You took the chain shirt off of the guardsman that Kobe had slain,
Yes.
and it fit you well enough. So you've got this chain shirt on now, which is affording you a little bit more protection, but I think you still have some concern about that.
Yes, that is not an inaccurate statement.
But you have trained with armor,
Yes.
so it's something that you're familiar with, that you're proficient with. You'd mused of contacting your patron, attempting to contact your patron. Usually he reaches out to you, but do you want to try to contact him in some fashion?
As a matter of fact, I do, because I had some ideas. Before we get to the temple, I might be able to use the temple to... I know that they went into some sort of realm where they could reach out to their god. I wonder if that realm can be used to more directly commune with my patron as well. But I don't know. It's just a thought.
It seemed under the purveyance of Morpheus himself. You suspect that without some tampering, twisting, altering of whatever magic is there, it seems linked with Morpheus and his demi-plane.
I just remember the owl at the very beginning that asked who, and if perhaps you said someone other than Morpheus, the owl could point you a different way. That was my only thought. But I digress.
Do you have another more immediate idea, like a ritual, some kind of thing? Just shouting, "Help me!"
No, nothing like that. A ritual, you say? I guess I could. Really isn't just the right time or place. I'm not really in a prepared situation where I can perform a ritual, in my opinion.
Okay. So the concern lingers in your mind. The chain shirt helps you a bit, so there's a start, and then we'll touch back on that at a later time.
Yeah.
Okay. You rest the horses for a while. Their breathing calms down. They cool off a bit, and the day's warming up. It's getting hot fast.
Well, we're in the shade. I think that...
I think almost everyone just falls asleep while you're there, because by now it's morning on the next day. I mean, like the horses, the NPCs, they all fall asleep.
I have a plan that I'd like to discuss with the party. So Lykarr and Kivish. I don't think we're going to outpace them. They will catch us eventually.
They are not pulling a bunch of barrels of water.
Yeah. It's all a matter of how much of a head start. They may not have even noticed anything amiss for a day until things, happen. Or they may have noticed immediately. What's that?
Yeah, they can still all be drunk.
Yeah. I mean, for all we know, we may have a day or two head start on them. But I would assume that they are coming. When they come, I would like us to have as much notice as possible. Is there perhaps... I mean, let's say we stop and hide somewhere. Find a good hiding spot. And watch from a distance. That way we see them coming before they see us. And then I can use magical illusion to make us seem like a boulder or something while they run past us, if we present a track that seems to go on and on. Once they're ahead of us, we can be much more leisurely in our pace, as they will likely continue going until they either encounter the Knolls territory or all the way to the Ambrosia Temple, which they may assume is our destination. Ultimately, if they turn around and come back, well, it's the same as if they caught up with us. We'll simply be going through them. Or we can hide again and let them pass us again. Either way, depending on how quickly we spot them. What do you think?
I mean, that sounds generally good. Yeah, I can't think of anything better, because it's not like if they are coming after us, we can't really outrun them.
We have to outsmart our foes. We can't outfight them or outrun them in this case. But we do have magic at our disposal. And that is very good for tricking our foes.
They didn't seem like there were a ton, were there?
Maxwell, even, let's say he brings 10 men. That's still more than we have.
That's true. But we do have a wagon for fortifications.
Yes. Well, they could potentially have bows, they could have crossbows, they could have all kinds of things that would make the fight not certain in our favor.
Yeah.
No, I like the idea. It sounds like a good plan.
Worst case, or best case, rather, I should say, if we play this right and they pass us both ways, we vanished into thin air. Also, if we reach the Knoll's territory first, he may have a better hiding place for us.
That's true. Might actually, yeah.
So let us continue till we find a good rocky outcropping that we can hide the wagon, and then we're just going to rest there because it is hot, and we'll travel at night when it's less hot. And I can use my major illusion magic to put up a illusionary field around us when they come by. Sound good?
It sounds good. Is the ground like rocky where it wouldn't leave tracks from the heavily laden wagon?
That's an excellent point, Esper. How did the tracks look?
Most of the ground here is arid. It's kind of scrub ground, rocky, but it's not solid rock. There would be some shelves of solid rock in some areas, but for the most part, you'll be leaving some tracks.
And are we more or less north of the place with all the sinkholes, or is this sort of the same?
Yes, you are. Okay. Yeah, you're still north of the sinkhole patch. Okay, so the plan then is to find an outcropping somewhere here amongst as the canyon walls are kind of giving way into more mountainous and craggy things. Let's see, someone can make a survival check. You could do a group survival check. Those are immediate options that come to my mind.
Survival.
I have one other thought. If we want to absolutely try and fool them the best, take some of the barrels out of the wagon, move the wagon ahead at a faster pace, then double back so we have a trail past the point where we're hiding. That way when they lose the trail that they will eventually and search around, we won't be in the area that they're searching.
Yeah. That's true.
All right, so you guys have got some ideas going here.
Plus, if Shai Hulud decides to show up, we'll be standing on top of solid rock and not drum sand.
All right.
All right, so survival?
Yeah, if you'd like, you can use survival to locate or pick out a natural feature which would aid you in this the situation here.
All right, wisdom is my good stat. I'm proficient in that, so that should be doable. Of course, it's going to always get stuck. Really need to get some smaller bolts for this dice tower hinges. Ooh, that's pretty good. That's 24.
All right, with Kivish as your guide, you actually find a small, I should say shallow cave. It's got a sort of low ceiling, but a wide mouth. It's enough to get the wagon in there. You can't really be standing up on the wagon, but the wagon itself, the horses, a person walking can make it into this cave. And it actually is an advantageous position because coming up out of this kind of like sagebrush ground is this kind of rocky shelf, and it leads up into it.
So we have the high ground.
Yeah, you get a little bit of high ground. You get. What's that?
You You said not a man on a horse. What about a man on a small horse?
A dwarf on a small horse, I think, would do it. Yeah.
Background, so we can beat Anakin.
Yes. I was going to say that it sounds like it also provides a bit of advantage for looking out over the plain so we can kind of see them coming.
Yes. Yeah. So when you're up there, you've got a vantage point, seeing this vista of Badlands in front of you, and then like miles farther out in the distance is the other side of the peninsula with the mountains.
We don't see them coming yet, correct?
You haven't seen or heard anything. But it's very hot. There's the air is like dead still, and the sun is beating down. This is the hottest you've ever felt.
Let's get the barrels into the cave. Yeah, and then we can get in the cave as well. And I have to stay with the cave, but someone could drive the wagon further, and we'll erase the tracks leading to the cave, basically.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Maybe we should double back with the wagon later.
And erase the tracks, yes.
So they think we went further south than we really are.
Exactly. Lykarr, do you want to drive the wagon on to, or who's our most survival expert? I guess that would be you, Kivish.
Sure. Yeah.
Since you know what to look for in tracks, and you could even erase some of the tracks or leave, fake tracks that will hopefully get them.
Drag a cloth behind the wagon to disturb any tracks, or possibly even use I don't know, just whip out a antelope hoof that I've just got lying around. Behind us.
All right. You do that, but let's get the barrels out of the wagon so you don't kill the horses while doing this.
Right.
And as soon as we can, we'll get the horses in the wagon into the cave. But I think you should go at least half an hour or so ahead of us.
Right.
Yeah, a good ways. So when they stop and start looking around for the tracks,
they're gonna
they're not anywhere
nearby or somewhere not where we actually are. Yeah.
Yep. And then when they start coming back, I'll be waiting for them to cast my illusion again over the cave mouth.
Right. Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, it does sound pretty good. The only thing that seemed a little maybe strenuous or difficult was the idea of taking the barrels out of the wagon.
Yep. I agree, Mike. We can take some of them. I don't want to kill the horses. Carrying 20 barrels of water for that much distance and then back. Actually, it's already hot. That extra bit of weight may or may not make a difference. It would be noticeable in the tracks. I thought of that too. I just hope that it wouldn't necessarily.
So,
actually,
I'm gonna actually kind of speed this up a little bit here because I don't want to bog down on the scene that there's not really any immediate danger.
Right.
So let's just kind of say, you get the wagon, the horses up into this shallow cave overcropping area up there on the shelf. You got everyone inside in the shade. It's real hot outside, but you're in there. It's it's a little cooler, and you're just kind of resting. You keep a lookout, and you're keeping a watch, and nothing's happening for quite a while. How long do you guys want to stay in there if nothing happens?
Can we wait till after the hottest part of the day, as it starts to get cooler?
Okay. So you're okay to keep waiting for a while, and the day wears on. A lot of people just sleep because they were up all night long. So for the most part, you rest throughout the hottest part of the day. So the party, you guys, the three of you, can take your shifts like you would normally do while sleeping, and everyone gets in a long rest here.
Nice.
Everyone's rested. No one has appeared. Every time you've been looking out, you haven't seen anything. You haven't heard anything. It's just a hot old day out there. Eventually, the sun starts, getting lower. The temperature starts to come down some, so it's getting closer. It's getting into evening time now.
Right.
Okay.
Which maybe they're moving by night too.
I think we should set up the trap and then come back to the cave. That would be my recommendation.
That's what I would have said too. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so you're gonna make like this. I want to make sure I understand. You make like these tracks going out, but then you just turn them around and walk them back over the same tracks.
Approximately, yeah. So it just looks like the tracks are a little thick, maybe.
All right, so you make a make it look like you already
feet,
passed
like
farther through here.
Mhm.
Okay. Anything else that you prepare at the moment?
Just gotta clean up the tracks going up to the cave entrance. Basically, no tracks there.
All right. So
Other than that, yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Now you work on that throughout the whole evening. You get back in the cave. You've accomplished those things. Sun goes down. It's night. Chirp, chirp, hoot, hoot.
Kivish, do you have that spell that you did that contacted Brekka?
Oh wait, I'm just really quickly looking up how Pass Without Trace works, just in case I can.
Oh,
that's a good one.
Yeah, that would be really helpful.
Each creature you choose within 30 feet of you has +10 bonus to dexterity, stealth checks, and can't be tracked except by magical means. You can choose yourself as well. A creature that receives this bonus leaves behind no traces of its passage.
So that would be good for all except the wagon.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if it comes to a plan where you guys just all want to go on foot, it's pretty cool. They're not going to be able to follow your tracks, and you'll have +10 to stealth checks.
But
it's like a concentration spell that lasts for an hour.
It is up to concentration up to an hour. Yeah.
Okay.
Good, cool spell.
Yeah. But yeah.
Do you have the animal messenger?
I mean, that particular crow, the screech owl. I don't think that particular one came back, but I could contact another.
Mm-hmm.
So
do you want to do another animal messenger?
Yes.
To Brekka?
That would. Yeah.
And if you could have her reply to that, can they reply?
It carried a note, so in theory, yeah. As long as I don't know if she knows how to write, but
Okay.
I guess that would be the hope.
Okay. The idea I had was send a note to Brekka, see what's going on.
Yeah.
And
I was thinking the same thing. Exactly.
Because I don't want to
or at
waste.
least she can give us an idea of their movements.
Yeah.
Not actually come and try and help us or block them or do something.
Yeah, I'm concerned they're gonna ride us down out, during the night, which would make sense. I mean, it's just I want to make sure that the waiting is the wisest move right now. It seems like it to me.
Right.
But I'm fine for sitting here through the night if we need to, because I imagine this is when they're going to try and come for us, if they've noticed.
Okay. So I'm going to roll a thing, and then a thing is going to happen.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Okay.
When the DM rolls dice, looks
Yeah.
scared.
All right, so you're waiting out through the night. You're keeping watch. Everyone's fairly well rested.
Mhm.
Everyone's awake, so there's not really like one person on watch. But there eventually does come the sound of hoofbeats in the distance, coming from the direction that you came from the same direction as Horncombe Lodge. You hear horses that are moving. They're not galloping. They're not at a full burst, but they're moving pretty quickly.
Yep. I'm going to wait until they're closer before casting my spell to try to time it as effectively as I can for when they're passing.
How long does that spell last?
10 minutes with my concentration.
Nice. That's the major illusion, right?
That is the major illusion. I can
That's
also
one
cast...
you can do up to a large size with all the sensory effects, and it animates.
Yes, I can change it with focus and things like that.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome illusion.
Good spell.
Yeah,
it's my best trick that I know.
Yeah, it's a really good one. Are you guys waiting up in the cave, just holding your ground?
Yep.
Okay.
And then I will, once I see that, like I wait till at least I can see them, because I assume they don't have that vision that I do. I will cover the entire mouth of the cave with just cragged like rock that looks like it's maybe there's little holes in it, but it doesn't look like anyone could fit through there. Like it's completely solid.
Nice. All right, so you look out, and you do see them coming in the distance. You can see them from a pretty good distance away. You see people on horseback. There are a total of 5 mounted individuals.
Just 5.
Any torches?
They are using lanterns.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll just try and make out who they are. I assume Maxwell's probably going to be one of them.
Make a perception check.
Let's see, perception's not my best. 14.
Okay. So you're not getting too good of a look at them. It looks like horses and riders and lanterns coming from the distance, following the wagon tracks. You don't get much of a good look at them before it's probably the right moment for you to use that spell.
Yep.
So you cast your Major Illusion. There now appears to be just basically rock, natural rock, as opposed to a mouth.
With a couple holes that I can still look out of.
I believe you can just see through your own illusions.
That's up to you. It doesn't say that, but that's up to you.
Here's how I picture it. So anyone who is aware that it's an illusion, they can see it's transparent. They still see it there, but it's real ghostly, and they can see through it. Think of it like dirty glass or something. But if you want to put like a little hole or something, just because you want the most perfect vision that you can, then you can do that.
Just a little like
little people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Little people.
Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't notice. They would just
that's
rocks and shadows. There's nothing to.
If one of them like full stops and like turns his head that way, I'm gonna be like shenanigans.
Hey, they might have true sight.
They might. True sight doesn't let them see in the dark.
So you create the illusory rock face, and you're just watching this group, and they're moving. Yeah, they're moving at a good pace. Yeah. As long as they can see these tracks on the ground, they're keeping up a good pace. Again, they're not galloping, but they're certainly going faster than your wagon.
We anticipated their reactions, it sounds like, of just following the tracks.
Let's see. So you get a look at them a little bit closer now. You can. I'll allow you to do another perception check, or anyone can make one, really.
Everyone. I got another 14.
Kivish and Lykarr will have disadvantage. No. Sorry. They got lanterns on them. No disadvantage. Sorry.
I got a 7.
Ooh.
No, you don't make any details. Kivish?
13.
Nothing noteworthy. Noxiqual?
I got a 14.
Okay. No, there's still a fair little ways away from you there. Yeah, it's 5 people, horses and the lanterns. And they're not talking loud, so you just make an indistinct, quiet, quiet speaking, just vague indications that they're speaking to each other in low tones. They continue following those tracks that you left, and then they'll go out of sight.
Perfect. We know how far we at the tracks ahead. Was it half an hour ish at our pace, which means it's less time at their pace.
Okay. Sure.
So we'll bunker down because they're either going to start coming back, looking for where we sidetrack them, or they're going to stay where they are at the end of the tracks and try to, go forward. So I think let's give it an hour and see what happens.
You wait and you wait. Time goes on. Your illusion phases out. You wait even longer. And eventually you see 2 riders coming back your way.
Ooh, opportunity. All right, quick party vote. Do we ambush them and take them? Or do we maintain the illusion?
I mean, honestly, the less ruckus we make, probably the better. It would be nice to be able to ambush them and either capture them or silence them permanently, but if it means potentially giving away our position, I don't know.
I mean, we could take their horses.
Sure.
How are the NPCs with us handling all this, out of curiosity?
The boy is very antsy, and from time to time he's making noise. Sometimes he's like, I don't want to be here! And you're like, shh. So you do what you can to keep him quiet. Valna, she's, what's the word I'm like, preaching? She's kind of preaching her religion or her philosophy, really. Kobe's liking it actually quite a bit. He says that it's giving him a real positive outlook and a sense of hope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marley is just, he's nervous. He's nervous. He's probably the quietest of the bunch.
Trust in your captain.
The dead guy smells horrible.
Oh, yeah. That dead guy.
That's all we need is a bunch of vultures circling us up ahead.
I mean, it's been one day. Yeah, it's going to start.
Yeah, it's been about 2 days now. Because it's night now. Yeah, he's starting to smell really funky.
Only we had some way to preserve that.
I'm pretty sure I don't know Gentle Repose.
So do you, after the long rest, did you prepare up your spells?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and you just pick from the whole druid list?
Druids are dumb.
Basically, yeah.
Same thing as cleric, right? You just have like all the spells and you pick the ones to prepare that day?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Nice.
But I'm pretty sure that Gentle Repose is not at all any of them ever.
I don't believe that's a druid spell.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
I think it's just cleric, maybe paladin too.
Probably. So,
how about another round of perception checks from you guys?
I want to see. I'll put up the illusion, because that'll still give us options.
Okay, so you cast your major illusion again.
Yeah.
I got a not natural.
Perception. I only got a 12, but you're gonna beat me.
I got a 4.
Poor Lykarr. Stuck in this cave.
And Kivish?
20.
20. Okay. So, 2 things I can note to you. Well, 2 things happen. One is with your perception check. The other one is not. Kivish, you are looking through this illusory rock face, and you're watching these 2 riders coming. When they get within, I will say maybe 200 feet, they're pretty close to you. This time you're able to recognize them. They're actually coming a little closer to the rock face. This time it looks like they're obviously looking for a hiding spot.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You recognize them as Ludwig and Grasshopper.
Yes.
Guardsmen. Ludwig is sort of a portly fellow, kind of stocky, and Grasshopper is a tall, lanky guy. They're both middle-aged men. Got chain shirts, shields, lanterns in their hand. They've got spears at the ready. There's you also notice that a little like staggered back outside of all their illumination of their lanterns are the other riders. They have their lanterns extinguished, and they are kind of creeping back there in the darkness.
Okay, so they are deliberately hiding their numbers.
You're not entirely sure that Ludwig and Grasshopper even realize that the other ones are back there. You're not sure. They don't say anything to each other. They don't make any gestures. There's no interaction of any variety.
Okay.
The second thing that I wanted to note actually is a totally unrelated thing, or it's not related to your perception check. Lykarr. That spot on your body where the mark is feeling really weird. You're feeling this like ringing sensation, and your heart rate starts to increase. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Well, here may be where we get into a fight. Oh, Lykarr.
Well, 19.
Awesome. Actually, I meant to say Constitution. Does that change anything for you?
Okay. Constitution. 22.
Okay, it's even better. Okay, good. You kind of grit and bear through this, but you feel the sensation of this like ringing, and it feels like it's spreading. It is very unpleasant, but you grit your teeth and you kind of contain yourself. But you're feeling very there's an ominous. You felt it before because you've had this thing on you, but something feels like it's growing there.
Great.
The two with the lanterns, the two guardsmen, they are passing in front of or I guess I should say, like just down from, like below the shelf, the rock shelf that leads up to the cavern mouth.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys doing?
I'm going to make sure the boy stays quiet.
Yes, that was my first thought. Like, literally cover his fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm going to very quietly ask Noxiqual if the illusion is still strong.
Oh, yeah. I can cast it again twice more if I need to.
All right.
Lykarr, you go to calm the boy down, and he starts whispering, "Nightmare, nightmare, nightmare."
Like, literally put your hand over his mouth. I don't care if you have to, like, hold him down.
Okay.
Or knock him out.
Lykarr grabs the boy. You cup your hand over the mouth.
And I try and, I'm not like trying to hurt him, but I'm just trying to tell him it'll be okay. And, not like, I'm going to wring your neck.
I'll tell Kobe to go help Lykarr out just in case. Yeah.
Okay. So Kobe hops down. Lykarr, you grab the kid, you cup his mouth. He just freaks out when you touch him.
Are you fucking kidding me?
He freaks. Yeah, he seems really freaked out by Lykarr.
I literally just tell Kobe knock him out.
All right. Kobe wallops him, and the boy's out cold.
I hate to do that, but
yeah, I didn't want to do that either, but I could just see the guys going by and Esper going, and the little boy goes, "I gotta pee really bad."
Exactly.
Why is that rock wall yelling "nightmare, nightmare"?
Valna says, "The Merqueen's touch is upon you. The boy feels it."
I thought we were not supposed to say that name.
I do not fear her. There is nothing she can do to touch my soul. It is impermeable and indestructible.
Well, I want to have a long talk with Valna when we get done with this.
Indeed.
Oh, did they hear the boy scream?
Hopefully not.
So the guardsmen are down there. They haven't stopped. They've kind of slowed around this area. They're looking around.
The tracks. Yeah.
Yeah, they're looking around, and they're kind of murmuring something to one another. Kivish, I think, was the most perceptive here. So Kivish is hearing them talking, and they're saying like, "I don't know where they could have been, or where they could be hiding at. Does this look odd to you here? You've said that already. Where did Maxwell get off to? I don't know. Really, I'd rather just go back home. I don't know. You heard Lord Eck. He did not sound well." They kind of are talking amongst themselves. You seem to get the hint that Lord Eck and his daughters are dying.
Yep.
Right, because we stole the water that was keeping them eternally young. And
I mean, technically, we're going to inherit the whole lodge, I guess.
The whole lodge? I don't know. Oh, well, we'd inherit. Oh, yes. Yeah.
I mean, Maxwell's a nephew. We're directly son-in-laws.
That's true. It is true.
I'm just messing with you.
Woo! They think something's a little bit odd, and they are walking up the rock shelf.
Okay.
Also, a son-in-law might not really be that great for inheritance terms if his wife is dead.
So everyone, I motion everyone to stop making noise. Like, I hold up my hand. And I am going to focus on my illusion, maintaining its realness. And I'm actually going to put like a little, maybe like a snake kind of crawling through one of the holes, like, just maybe like make it one of those really venomous looking like desert snakes.
Okay, so you summon your nasty rattler, and it's like coming out of its crevice there.
I wait to make it sound until they're maybe like 10 feet away because I want to scare them.
Okay, so first I'm going to roll a thing for the guard's reaction to the snake. What is the DC on your spells?
17.
17? Okay. Yep. So Grasshopper freaks. He kind of like, it's a rattler! And Ludwig just kind of like, spits out a curse. He has a spear. He draws it, and he just like brings it down like, whap!
I make it so it looks like. I make it so the snake looks like it got hit, and I'll make it react, accordingly.
All right. So the snake gets hit, and it's kind of like hurting. It like slithers off real fast. Yep. Okay. But they think something seems a little odd about this air. They're suspicious of this air. They're thinking there might be a hiding place here, and they're looking around. Do you guys do anything when they start looking around?
Can I cast like prestidigitation? I think it's called. Have like a noise somewhere else, or do I have to talk to do that?
Yeah, talk.
Oh.
Yeah. Unless a spell specifically has no verbal component, you state it. You state your control over the ethers, over the elements, and I believe it's minor illusion that does the sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or there's like a ghost noise thing.
Yeah.
All right, well, no one comes up with anything too quick, so they're inspecting.
I'm just getting my sword kind of ready. Like I've got my hand on my sword.
All right, so everyone's like battle ready in case. Yeah.
Yeah.
On the table. All right. Well, first one didn't get it. Neither did the other. They look along. You're like literally looking at them, touching the rock face, and they run their hands along. And that's not the only part they inspect. I mean, they're checking out everything. They're looking at stuff. And then they're just like, it's not worth it to get bit by a rattlesnake up here in the rocks. They go back down.
Whew.
Thank God for low rolls.
I was about to say, yeah, they could have easily gone through my illusion if they had just, disbelieved it. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, so they inspected, different things that they could, and they're just like, this is pointless. We're out here looking at rocks in the middle of the night in the desert, about ready to get bit by a rattlesnake. So they mount back up, they come down off the shelf, and they're continuing on in the direction of the Horncomb Lodge.
Yep.
The others now are passing by. Noxiqual, with your vision, they're close enough for you just to get a plain look at them. You see Maxwell Eck. They're all three atop riding horses.
Yep.
Maxwell also's got his chain shirt and his shield. He has a falchion in a sheath at his side. He has a few javelins. Near him is Yocum. You guys met him before. He was the wood splitter kind of.
Yeah.
The headsman.
He was also the headsman. Yeah, he's just kind of one of the local strong guys. He's also got on one of the chain shirts, and he has his axe. So it'd be basically like a battle axe. Looks like he has a hand axe as well as a secondary weapon. There is a woman with them as well, who you identify as Jan Eppenkoff, Marley's wife. She, let's see, she has some light leather clothing. That's it. All three of them have their lanterns extinguished.
We just play quiet.
They follow behind, at a fair distance behind, outside of the illumination of the lanterns of the two guardsmen, and a minute later, they're pretty far away.
Okay, I say we wait till they're completely gone. And how much of the night's left?
Quite a bit.
I would say then we start to go.
Yeah, quite a bit of nighttime is left.
I feel like we could cover a good bit of travel at night.
Right on. You each achieve milestone.
Cool.
Yes, milestone. I was about to ask, but I didn't want to ask because that's cheeky. I don't like doing that. All right.
Well, don't ever hesitate to check in with me about milestones or inspiration. Sometimes I got a lot to juggle.
Yeah, it's all good.
By the way, does inspiration actually carry over from session to session?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
And question, should I wait before actually applying my level for
Long rest.
Are we long resting soon, I guess, is kind of what I'm.
Do you want to take the long rest now and sleep through the night?
I want to continue forward, and I'll level myself up. It only takes me a couple seconds with my character builder.
Mm-hmm. But
let me know.
You need to take a long rest in order to actually, reach your epiphany moment to reflect upon everything.
So basically, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it yet.
You don't want to take the rest now. You want to travel?
Yes, we want to travel.
Okay. So all the riders are long gone. You get yourselves together and you say, "This is our chance. Let's hit the trail."
Yep.
Okay. You make your way through the night. You come across nothing. It is a still night. It is a very, very calm night. You ride on. Eventually, the first hints of dawn are coming in the east. Also, not far from where you are currently is going to be the sinkholes.
My patron smiles on us. Do we remember the way through the sinkholes?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Kick on one eye showed you the safe path to take, the one that does not crumble when you walk upon it.
I say that we utilize that and go very slowly and carefully through that.
Hopefully it's wide enough for the wagon.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a snaking pathway that you have to take, but it's a safe path that doesn't crumble.
Right.
Yep.
All right.
That's for us to get attacked.
Dawn breaks. It gets into the next morning. Today actually is a rare drizzly sort of day. The weather has shifted. Wind has blown in from the east. There's some like dark clouds, like a thin blanket just hangs over the sky, and there's this kind of chilly wind is blowing, and it's drizzling. It's like the weather just takes a 180.
My patron and Lykar's smile on us today.
Mm-hmm. Lykarr, do you have a weather control effect that you can use to?
I do.
Yeah.
I think it's for my storm saucer. I think I can
Yeah,
control.
I mean,
the
just
weather.
since we're on the topic, why don't we just kind of look at it and see if it's something that you could use now or at a later time?
All right, let's see. At 6th level, you gain the ability to subtly control weather around you. If it's raining, you can use an action to cause the rain to stop falling in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on you.
I mean, it'd be nice if we didn't want it to rain on us. I think we kind of want it to.
Mm-hmm.
If it's
But
windy,
yeah, but maybe you can use it a bit just in terms of like the ground.
Mud. Yes.
Yeah. But I know where you're going with this too, in terms of like keeping the horses cooled down. So between the weather itself and Lykar's Storm Guide, between those both, you're going to make good time today.
That's awesome.
You probably can collect some rainwater as well.
Yes, definitely.
especially for the horses, they drink a lot of water.
Yep. I guess my question is, do we encounter the knoll on this day?
In the middle of the boulder field, you do.
All right.
You're making your way through the this area of sinkholes when appears Kickon One Tooth, the knoll mystic. With him, as before, is the cactus dryad Thornessa, his two-headed hound Shagshug, and this time there is another figure that's with him. Do you remember the desiccated, sinewy, skeletal one that was crucified?
Oh, I do. That you mentioned it.
He is now a companion.
Oh,
Kickon.
cool.
Or, as you probably imagine, Kickon created him.
A little necromancy here.
A little something necromantic going on there.
Well, dancing and necromancy. All right.
Mm-hmm. You have returned to the realm of Kickon One Eye. Rattle of the bones.
We have, Kikan, and we come to honor you as per the agreement that my companions made. They delivered your message.
You bring me these three as sacrifice. The three NPCs reel at that. What?
I hold up a hand and I say, no. We have a body here. We give him the stinking corpse, you know.
But stinking, you mean finely aged and lightly fermented in
Yeah.
its natural casing?
Yes.
Artisan.
This is half of what was promised you now.
Yes, we sacrificed him for you.
Kickon will take corpse, but this is not good enough for me. I want live sacrifice into my pit.
Indeed.
I have reason to think that some may be coming this way.
Kikan,
If they pursue us for far enough south, they might just fall into his pits by themselves.
Kikon, what boon you said earlier for such? There's something that I believe you were saying about a boon if we were to deliver such to you.
I know nothing of brooms, but you, Anna Kikon, you pass with Kikon, now wanting your ill fortune or bad fate fall to you.
Yeah, I seem to remember it was like him not trying to eat us was his boon he promised. I don't think he ever promised us anything particularly good, as long as we respected him and brought him something.
You bring word of Kikon might to people of Horncon Lodge.
We did.
Yes, we did that.
I wait for the day that my honor come back. I reclaim they who defile my land, who hunt my game, who pay me no honor.
That day may be swiftly approaching, Kikon. The Lord of Horncombe Lodge is on his deathbed.
I am pleased by this news.
Indeed. We wish to pass the temple. We can offer you this sacrifice. If you require more, could we not make some sort of arrangement?
Throw him into the pit. Let the vultures pick his bones. Let the beetles gnaw his flesh. I may have use for him in some way.
He seems fairly okay with it, as it is. You've essentially came to a neutral truce with this fellow before, so not really too much has changed. He seems happy that you've struck a blow against Horncombe, and maybe you've even lured, in a manner of speaking, men from the lodge out here to their possible doom in his realm. So he doesn't really ask anything more of you, but he's happy, with the answers and the news that you have given him already here.
Perfect. I'd like to talk to the Cactus Dryad. What was her name again?
Thornessa.
Thornessa. When we return from the Ambrosia Temple this time, we will not be taking the path back through Horncombe Lodge. The only way that I know of to reach the mainland would be through the Cactus Forest.
Yes, where the storm spider lives.
Yes, you've told us your best advice for dealing with, to strike the first punch and try to intimidate. I have the name. Caraxia. But is there anything more that you can you accompany us or offer any sort of protection as we pass through those lands?
Well, I left Caraxia's forest because it was a very harsh and a harsh living, and really a very distasteful and unpleasant treatment that she gave me. I don't have illusions of being pampered, but there is something to be said for a dryad choosing the company of a rambling null mystic over that of the guardian of the cactus forest. Though I shouldn't completely forsake my roots. I have family in the cactus forest I could go revisit, but should I be implicating myself with your kind?
It would be very helpful to us
Oh, I'm
To-
sure it would.
to pass through there.
And then
With
you're
the help
gone
of you and
forever,
your-
and I have to deal with the consequences of the rest of my life.
Do you have any affiliation or love of Morpheus or his acolytes of the temple?
Morpheus was once the lord of this region, but that was before I was even born. I wasn't even a spine at that point. Kings rise and kings fall. That is the way of the world.
Well, true. We have something that Morpheus, I believe, will find very valuable, and it will please him when we return it to him.
I see that. I'm curious as to what will happen.
Indeed. I was wondering if this was any sort of interest to you.
Are you saying Morpheus himself is going to come back to life, and then I'll upgrade and master from Storm Spider to Null Mystic to a god?
I'm not saying that at all, no. But if you wish to accompany us to the temple, perhaps something might happen.
I think we'll watch from a safe distance. But I appreciate you asking.
Very well. Let us continue on our way. We have another day still yet to get to the temple.
Kick-On says, "You have treat for my puppy. Just maybe one hand from little boy."
Get the hook hand on him early, eh?
I pull a piece of fish jerky out of my pouch and I lay it on the ground in front of the dog and look at Kikan as if to say, yeah, complain. I dare you.
Ooh.
The dogs go up. The dog goes up to it and sniffs it, and then the heads kind of growl at each other, and each takes an end and they rip it and they snarf it down.
Nice.
I think that's a bit trivial. 2 fingers, 1 finger for each mouth. The boy has 10.
There is a saying in Norcast Rock, where I come from. You get what you get, and you don't get upset.
Where I come from, we say, you get what you get. You don't give me no shit. Very well. The interaction kind of plays itself out.
Yeah.
You exchange some banter, and otherwise, go on your merry way.
Yeah, I'm willing to hold my ground
safely navigating through the sinkhole field. It appears that this party is going to watch whatever happens at some sort of distance. They weren't really specific on what they're going to do, but they're not immediately following behind you.
That's perfect, because that means that if we are followed all the way to the temple, ideally they'll be watching and potentially helping us in any fight.
Yeah, it could come to be quite a deterrent for any would-be pursuers. We shall see.
The temple.
Do you want to press on? Do you want to kind of force the march, or do you want to take a rest?
I'm for a long rest if the time has come for a long rest.
Yeah, I don't want to tax the horses.
Yeah, it's essentially at the same rhythm of yesterday, and it's getting into late morning. The horses are getting tired. They're not in bad shape like they were yesterday, but you can tell they're starting to get fatigued.
All right, I'm going to dream and level.
Nice. So let's
let's get a survival check off of whoever wants to find a sleeping area.
Into that. Ooh. Can I apply my inspiration now to reroll that?
Yep.
All right. That was a 1.
Hmm.
That was a 13 plus 6 is 19. So consider
19.
better.
Okay. So you find yourself a nice location that is protected from the drizzle and the elements. You can make a defensive stand there.
Dreams, show me a place in this storm which is safe.
You find yourself a nice big rock formation with a leeward wall that's out of the rain and gives you, you can make a stand there. You can make it a defensible position should it come to an encounter of such. Go ahead and apply your level now. No, wait, hold on. I'm going to roll for a random encounter. I also need to get the charger here for my laptop pretty soon. I see that I'm getting kind of low on battery, but it's not going to die like just the next second.
I have very interesting new ability.
Okay. Yeah, don't do your level up yet.
Oh, shit. Never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, because you're not passing, you have not yet passed through the long rest when a happening occurs. An occurrence happens. Very, very interesting. Okay. Let me grab my charger before we get into this because I just want to
5 minute water, bathroom,
yeah,
whatever.
sure.
Okay.
Hold for intermission.
Some intermission music.
Welcome back, Esper.
Alrighty then.
Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you. All right, we have power. All right, I'm going to start rolling some stuff for this encounter now. Okay.
So, if memory serves, we're near the temple, but not quite at the temple.
Yeah, it's going to be the last day of travel, I believe.
Okay.
Well, tomorrow will be the last day of travel.
Well, hopefully we don't get ambushed in the night too badly.
It's getting ready to hit afternoon here, actually.
Oh, that's good.
Interesting. I wonder how that'll turn out. Okay.
Hopefully with more milestones.
Something will come out of it, that's for sure.
I mean, if anyone dies, then we just toss their body to Kikan and get his blessing.
All right. Grab this guy here. I've been enjoying how story-centric this campaign has been. But sooner or later,
Fights.
bloody battle is going to happen.
I
But who
hate
knows?
that.
I mean, even still, there may be some non-combat way out. I think there's always some kind of option.
I feel like it's my fault in some ways because I've mostly looked for ways not to fight.
I think it's interesting. I like it, and I am of the philosophy that such play styles and decisions still can merit experience points. They still do, because characters learn and grow and develop and gain real, life experience through all sorts of challenges.
That whole heist thing totally makes sense. A milestone there. You're everything I love about that whole arc that we've done up so far.
Yeah. So the way I'm handling that is there's the main story, or I guess we could say the main quest. And then that one milestone was like an encounter in the middle of the main quest. So the main quest will have its own milestone value.
Yeah. Well, we'll discuss it after game. Looks like Dennis is back.
I am back.
Welcome back. All right, you're just in time. It's your turn. The party's fighting an ancient red dragon. No, I'm joking.
I pull out my wand of wishes.
All right. You didn't know that it was cursed. Oh.
All right. So what did we find in the middle of the night?
Is Adam with us?
No, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Just realized my mic was off.
Okay. I just need to read one thing here.
Sure.
So I want to make sure I do this right. Okay. It is late morning, early afternoon. Yeah, it's about that time of day. You don't really see the sun. It's gray. It's drizzly. It's cool. It's windy. But you've got a sense of things, and you've been kind of resting here at your spot for a short amount of time, maybe an hour or two. Let me roll to see who's keeping watch. Do the three of you take shifts, or is it you three and Kobe? So would there be a point where the three of you are sleeping and Kobe's on watch?
After what happened to Tanyan,
That seems inadvisable, yeah.
I think the three of us should always be, one of us should always be.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am looking at here Kivish, Lykarr, Warsor, 1, 2, 3. Or Kivish, Lykarr, Noxiqual, 1, 2, 3. 2. We have Lykarr. Okay. Lykarr, what is your passive perception?
Oh, thank goodness it's not me.
10.
10.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the basic.
Could be rough.
Okay. Lykarr, you did not notice a creature creep up. The position that you have here is the defensible one. Kivish found a really good spot here in this rock formation. So when you notice this thing, it's not on you yet, but when you notice it, it's 20 feet away from you. So a thing comes into view. You've got rock formation nearby, but you've got room to move in any direction. It is a reptilian thing, easily the size of a man, lizard-like, with multiple legs, and something kind of smoldery in its gaze. Roll for initiative.
With how many legs?
Mini?
Okay.
6 maybe? Yeah, Lykarr, roll your initiative. It has a total of 8 legs. I have a spiny lizard thing. 14?
Yep.
Okay.
I feel like out of game, I might know what this is.
Out of game,
Yeah.
I'm almost certain I know what this is.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
All right. So you actually can act first here, Lykarr.
Well, we're gonna raise
Your
the
allies
alarm.
are sleeping. Okay, so you start shouting.
Yeah, guys, come check this out.
Lykarr is shouting. The two of you make perception checks with disadvantage.
Perception with disadvantage, okay. Should have been great if I could keep that 20. 15. No.
You awaken.
17.
You awaken. Roll for initiative.
Roll for initiative? Alright. My dex mod is 14.
Did you hear me, Esper?
I didn't.
That's all right. I got a 7.
All right, you're still sound asleep.
Okay.
Who's got a higher dexterity score between Lykarr and Kivish?
Mine is 14. My score.
Yep.
What
Lykarr?
about Kobe?
16.
Okay. Yep. Good call on Kobe. Let me get him here. Kobe, where you at, buddy? Kobe, where are you? There he is. Kobe wakens. All right.
Kobe's going to get a level soon, too.
I hear that. Okay. We've still got Lykarr going first, though. So go ahead, Lykarr. What's your reaction to this thing? Scaly, at least the size of like a big man, 8 legs total, spiny, smoldering gaze. Nasty hissing noises.
Is everybody in the immediate area around me, or am I off watching up front? Or
Yep. Everybody is within, 5-10 feet of you.
okay. Well, I guess we're gonna fight.
All right, you're going to fight.
I am going to cast a spell.
Before you cast your spell, make a those of you that are awake, make a nature checks.
Okay.
Yeah, just because I think if your characters would know what this is, you might act differently.
Right.
Okay.
I think we would act very differently. Okay, I got a 15 plus some things.
I have a 17.
Okay, yeah.
I have a total of also a 17.
Yeah, okay. So you both know this is a basilisk, and you know that it has a petrifying gaze.
Right.
So bear that in mind as you're starting your turn. You should basically declare if you don't want to be looking right at the thing.
I most certainly don't.
Okay.
If I know what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
One of my favorite desert monsters, by the way. I have a whole mini arc in my campaign essentially about them.
I remember we had a basilisk, poisoned sword? Basilisk spine sword?
Daggers and short swords as artifacts made out of their teeth, yeah.
Out of their teeth.
Jeez. Yeah.
Well, I think I'm just going to start off. I'm going to cast an. I'm going to attack it. I'm going to cast Fireball on it. That's
Okay.
one of my best spells.
All right, so you look there to cast your Fireball. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Uh, 15. Plus
Okay.
18.
All right. You feel the basilisk gaze upon you, a sort of tenseness, but you overcome it. Your fireball erupts. Whoosh. The creature is fairly slow in its movements, and it does not have any chance of success. Roll up that damage.
Oh,
Is a fireball a fairly loud noise?
I don't think of it as an explosion, but more like a big whoosh of fire.
Right.
Okay. Just let me know if anyone makes any other loud noises. They'll give me another check.
What's the damage on the Fireball?
8d6.
All right. So
It is a potent one.
8,
Yeah, it's a hell of a spell.
8,
Yeah.
It's a good opener, too, before it closes the distance.
23, 30,
Damn.
36,
Damn.
39, 42,
Jeez.
49.
Holy shit.
This
Yeah, I
thing
got a
has
couple
this thing has scorch marks all along its scales. It hisses in like agony. You about just roasted this thing to death. Kivish, what do you do? You said you're gonna like turn your gaze away from him.
Yes, I'm gonna turn away, and I'm going to, if possible, if I can still concentrate on it, cast a moonbeam on it.
Okay, you're not looking at the thing. Make a. I think this would be intelligence. Sounds like intelligence to me.
Okay.
Yeah, make an intelligence check.
All right. 19.
All right. Yeah, you put your moonbeam down where you guesstimate is like the right place, and you've got it in there, and you hear the thing just like shriek, and it is a goner. It just falls over dead. Woo!
I walk over to it.
Nice. You go over to the thing. Yeah, it's like half of its face and its one side is just like has like blackened scales from the scorch. The moonbeam finished it off. The fireball almost completely.
Does anyone wake me up?
Neat.
I would like to try to harvest some of its teeth.
Yeah, Kobe wakes you up, bud.
Okay, thank you. I say, what the hell is this?
It was a big lizard thing, but they roast him alive.
I look at like the others just to kind of confirm this, because I know how Kobe can, react.
Yeah, you handle the thing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I rolled really high.
Yeah. Also, for as nasty as his gaze can be, you guys are pretty strong. You actually you kind of outdo this thing. I'll award you each a half milestone.
That seems perfectly reasonable.
Sure. Could have gone worse, but you handled it incredibly well. And Fireball, Fireball's a hell of a spell.
Yeah.
You also rolled really well on that. 49 damage on 8d6. I think it's well above average.
Oh, yeah.
43, right?
You did 49 damage.
Yeah, you rolled higher than 5 on
Was it
average.
49?
It can't be 49 because 6 times.
Can't be 49.
8 times 6 is 48, yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you get 49 damage?
43.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's 43.
All right.
Oh, is it plus something or no?
Nah.
Okay.
Oh, God, no. It doesn't need anything else.
No, 43, you almost rolled max damage. It's still pretty impressive.
Yeah, he rolled a hellacious fireball.
Yeah.
I'd say after that, the long rest goes by without a hitch, and who wants to have some roast basilisk haunches?
Anything special in the night as I level up?
It's in the middle of the afternoon. Just drizzle. Kivish, were you wanting to do something with the basilisk at the body?
Yeah, I want to try and pry loose some teeth if I can.
Okay. What tools do you have proficiency with?
Well, masonry tools are the ones I actually have from my racial and class features. As well as an herbalism kit and a musical instrument, which for me is a drone flute.
Okay.
And I have my weapon proficiencies, which
All right, so give me just a wisdom check.
Okay. Proficient or no?
Just a straight wisdom.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. 16.
16. Okay. The eyes aren't going to do you any good, but you're able to get some teeth out of this thing, and you're able to harvest a dose of poison from it as well.
All right.
So whatever container you want to put that in, you've got a dose of basilisk poison, which is it's a fairly standard, basic type of injury poison. There's nothing fancy about it. Get it on a pokey thing, stab someone, and they're going to get some poison in that. And you managed to extract a couple of full teeth from the thing as well.
Cool. I know this isn't my setting, but I'm sure I'll find something cool to do with them.
Oh, I'm sure you will. You add your basilisk teeth to your collection.
Yeah, actually,
we'll see what becomes of this.
What is it? Nature's Vengeance or Fury. The spell, this cantrip that does damage, says you have claws for hands. I could I build myself a Wolverine apparatus.
Anyway. Basilisk claw blade.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So the short rest goes on, or the long rest rather, is undisturbed, and you'll be awakening. So let's see.
Can the eyes be
sundown?
harvested?
Basically, you'll be awakening at dusk. Basically.
Can the basilisk eyes be harvested safely?
No, I just found out that I couldn't do that.
Okay.
Well, you could take the eyes. That makes sense to me that their eyes would have maybe be some kind of spell component, but the eyes themselves, you can't just hold it out to a guy and petrify him.
I wasn't trying for petrification. I have eye powers and eye related patron things.
Eye motifs.
I feel like I want one eye if you don't have any objection.
Kivish takes an eye, and Nox takes an eye.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's I think a basilisk eye sounds like some kind of spell component, or a mage or witch of some sort would want it.
Especially when it's pickled in olive brine.
That sounds like something a dwarf would eat, right? Like a basilisk, like a stone creature, and a pickled basilisk eye.
Yeah.
Just like great-great-great-grandmother used to make.
What did I
I'm
say
going
my
to
trade rations were?
I'm going to save mine for my patron.
Noxiqual, you have reached a moment of reflection. You have learned many things from this new strange jaunt in your travels, this new chapter that you're opening in your life. You have your moment of breakthrough. And what gift does your patron bestow upon you at this moment?
Well, there is a new ability that they give to me. And I think that this could be very thematic if we can find a way to work it in. A Cursed Specter. Starting at 6th level, you can bind the soul of a slain foe into your service temporarily. When you slay a humanoid, you can cause its spirit to rise from the corpse as a specter. When it appears, it gains temporary hit points equal to half your Warlock level. Roll initiative for the specter, which will act on its own turn. Obeys your verbal commands and can apply a modifier to its attack rolls equal to your charisma modifier. It remains your servant until the end of your next long rest when it travels to the afterlife. Once you bind a specter with this ability, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest.
Excellent. And this is a new invocation?
It's just a Warlock ability of the hexblade.
It's the hexblade ability.
Yeah.
All right. So, you have a private moment. You hear the summons of your master.
Okay.
Where do you want to go? Step away from the party?
Yeah, I think I would just kind of fade away into the shadows, maybe.
Mm-hmm. It's middle of the day. You guys slept. You guys slept in the middle of the afternoon.
I cast darkness and walk into the dark.
That's actually perfect. So,
Yes.
So you maybe kind of go around the other side of the rock formation, and you like enter your your dark aura.
Bubble of darkness. Yeah.
Yes, and this kind of mask-looking face forms itself out of the darkness. It is the face of your patron. This strange mask formed of almost an onyx-like substance, and he gazes upon you. What are you doing out in the desert?
I have come here seeking the Ambrosia Temple, Master, so that I might learn about the temple at the end of the world.
The Ambrosia Temple. You're not parlaying with Morpheus, are you?
That is where Morpheus's body is, yes. I am not parlaying with him. I have not spoken with him.
Have you entered his dream realm?
I have not.
Your loyalty is unwavering. Perhaps it is time that I reveal to you a secret.
He kind of like blows a little cloud of like a mist or a smoke, and it for a moment forms this image of a spectral creature that's kind of skull-faced ghost. And he says, he whispers some things. He tells you how to command the essence, the ghost, call forth the ghost of recently slain foes, and he gives you this power that you have now.
Mm-hmm.
For the sake of not taking up too much time, he does ask you a few questions about Morpheus, about Ambrosia Temple, about what you're doing, what are these companions. Does it sound like you're basically like, this is all leading towards me being able to take on Victario?
I succinctly tell him everything that I've done, the trickery, the deception, the betrayals, and the night kind of things with the Lord. Everything that I think he might enjoy, knowing. All leading up, of course, to this the moment when I will fulfill his will.
So you tell him these things. He holds his gaze upon you, and he says,
Good. I sense a worry in your voice.
oh, I should have changed the color of my light. There we go, yeah.
I sense worry in your voice. You're afraid the swords and spears of your foes will prick your flesh.
I have faith in your powers, but my own body is not as strong as the warriors who come seeking my life. Were it able to withstand their blows better, I could face them blade for blade and show the power that you have gifted me. Like I feel like I've got the sword in hand.
What fashion of armor is your persuasion, Noxiqual?
The most powerful armor that I could wear, that I've trained with, that I feel proficient with, would be a half plate armor.
It shall be done. Continue.
And with that, he disperses. He fades back into the darkness.
I imagine the spell kind of ends at the same time.
Sure. The spell
Yeah.
disperses as though a fog in a breeze.
I like it.
And when the darkness disappears, you see that there is a little ingress in the rock formation. You step inside into this small little chamber, and there you see a man. The man is a gnoll. There is a gnoll wearing a suit of half-plate armor. The creature is sickly or maybe dehydrated. Something's wrong with it. And it looks up at you and it's like,
Just looking it over, does it look like the armor is my size?
it sure does. And you feel an impulse to test out this new gift that your master has bestowed upon you.
I point at his armor. I say, give it to me, and I will give you what you need.
He whines a sickly and weak whine.
I will, giving him my water seems foolish.
You feel an impulse to wield the power your patron has just gifted upon you.
I take my sword out and I slice his head off with one clean blow.
You slice his head.
Yeah.
The body goes limp. You see in his side actually is a wound, and it looks like poison and necrosis or something. Something got him.
But before the life in his soul can flee, I just clench my fist. And there's this thrumming in the air as his soul is held in place. And then I force the soul through shadow. Maybe there's a collar, and something else chains that kind of pull his soul out of the body.
All right.
Into a specter, a floating null specter.
Let me free.
No, you will serve me now until the time comes for you to return to your afterlife.
He tries to refute you. Maybe you give a little choke on the chain.
Yeah, I clench my fist and showed him who's boss, kind of.
Yes, master.
Good. You will, hang on, I just have to look at specters real quick and see how they work.
Do you need the stat block?
What's that?
Do you need the stat block?
I have it. Sunlight sensitivity, so looks like they aren't destroyed by sunlight, but they definitely take some serious penalties. Can it follow me underground?
Why not?
Okay. So long as you're cool with it.
It flies, it hovers, it's a incorporeal spectral thing, has all kinds of resistances because it's undead and incorporeal.
It does take force damage if it ends its turn inside an object, so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
okay, is that what you meant?
That's what I meant.
Inside of an object? Okay, inside a rock formation or the ground.
So basically it's going to be walking in the sun with me until nightfall, I guess.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I thought you meant can it follow me into a cavern or something like that? Why not?
Willing gopher ally?
Yes, no, I was thinking literally traveling beneath the surface of the rock and then popping up. When I said, but that's fine. No, it's gonna walk out with me. I do take the armor, of course.
All right, so it probably takes you a while to suit up there. Half plate and all. It's got probably some mail parts, and then like a breastplate, and I don't know, maybe like
I wipe it off with some cloth. Yeah, I wipe off the goo with the cloth and everything that I can.
And it is not null armor. It specifically looks like human-styled armor. So obviously he got this from someone.
Right.
Is it half-plate armor then, I take it?
It is. Yeah, it is half-plate, for sure. It's just it's not null-fashioned armor. You see some dried blood bits on, like, this armor has been through some shit.
That will actually let me feel more confident fighting with my sword. All right. I'm ready.
Everyone sees Noxiqual emerge from his other side of this, big rock formation, wherever he went off to. He's wearing a suit of strong armor, and there is an undead, a floating, skull-faced gnoll apparition. Let's see.
I asked him, I said, "You look different. Did you do something with your hair?"
Kobe looks at you and he's like, "Oh, he's done it again."
He's done it again.
Bowen's like, "Whoa, he's got a ghost. Wow. Can I touch it?"
I would not recommend it unless you wish your life force to be drained away.
Volna keeps her distance.
Yeah.
She doesn't look very comfortable with that. And Maxwell looks like he's about to Marley looks like he's about to piss himself.
Mm-hmm. Do not worry. This being serves me completely.
Volna says, "He is a free spirit. You are dominating him. But he is a free spirit. Why do you do this?"
I will release the spirit when its time has been served. I do this because there are foes that we may face ahead that I may need it.
You would defile the Ambrosia Temple with such necromancy.
The Ambrosia Temple is not my temple. I will wait outside. I will leave the spirit outside.
Best let it go now. Fight your battles yourself.
You make such compelling argument, and yet, until we reach the step of the Ambrosia Temple, I feel that I will keep this with me. It will not damn us anymore to have it till that point.
You tread in darkness, and there is fear in your heart.
Darkness has always been my path.
You choose a different path. You can choose it right now.
I have no need to choose another path. This path suits me quite well.
Well, then, why don't we all just start claiming the souls of our fallen foes, and then we can become the Mer Queen ourselves?
Now you're
That would
putting
be quite a party, wouldn't it?
comparing me to the Mer Queen. I'm flattered, but I don't have anywhere near that amount of ability or power.
All trees begin as a seed.
I assure you that I'm not your enemy at this time. And I feel that bringing this up now, when we are on the brink of restoring this miraculous water that we have come so far to heal our companion, Lykarr, just seems unnecessary.
Well, who am I to persuade you otherwise? Can you please at least swear to not do that to me if I die in front of you?
Not do that with what?
She says, she basically says, don't turn me into a specter if I die.
Oh, no, I have to be the one that kills you to make that happen.
Well, let's hope that does not come to pass. I would very much not like to croak out here in the desert, especially to the Gothic knight or whatever you suppose yourself to be.
I do not make oaths lightly. I never have. But I will make you this oath. I will not turn you into this specter should the opportunity ever come.
Marley says, can I make the same request?
I will not make that oath with you.
No.
But you are a member of my crew to be. And if you prove yourself to me, you have nothing to fear.
Bowen, the boy, says, do it! He'll be stronger if he's a ghost.
Unfortunately, there's a limit to how long I can bind even a spirit such as this. It must go to its natural cycle in the afterworld.
What are you, like a wizard's apprentice?
Wait, what did he ask?
He said, what are you, some kind of wizard's apprentice?
No, I am no wizard. I am a captain of a ship.
It's a tense moment. What about Kivish and Lykarr? What do you guys make of this?
Well, I wanted to have a conversation with Valna at some point about how it is that she's not afraid of the Mer Queen, what her deal is.
Mm-hmm.
For now, I'm pretty content to let them just sort of talk it out. I don't see a whole lot of reason to interrupt. They seem to be, working on things.
Sure. Do you have an opinion or a perspective on this necromantic power?
I mean, it's strange. It kind of goes a little bit against the natural order of things, but I'm one that has seen things in dreams. I have visited the dream realm on more than one occasion, and I'm sure that my I don't know if you could really call her my patron, but in the same sense, but my tutor, I'm sure she's been involved in similar levels of potentially disturbing to outsiders stuff. So I'm not too judgmental about it, but if he does it more often, I might be a little wary of it.
Okay, so Kivish has seen some strange things in his day. Maybe he's seen some sort of shaman, spirit finding, spirit calling, spirit world stuff. So it's not the most outlandish of effects, and maybe your temperament that you have is letting you just wait and see what happens. We're not going to rush any conclusions about this.
Yeah.
Lykarr, do you have an opinion?
Lykarr is familiar with many different schools of magic, although he may not understand them to the point that he does, but he understands that this is just a different type of magic, and Lykarr is good with that. Okay, so yeah, Lykarr has a very mage outlook on this, and you know full well that the Silver Citadel has a like an archmage of each school of magic, including necromancy. So I think that's good enough for the party to continue on, even with a specter now as an ally.
Yeah.
Yep.
You've all rested. It's dusk. The sun is about ready to just dip down over those mountains in the horizon. And the rains have ceased, and it's just everything's like cooled off from all that rain. A little muddy at some areas, but the heat's completely gone. The heat's broke.
Excellent.
So you continue through the night, heading towards the Ambrosia Temple?
Yep.
Yes. You hear a lot of night insects, and you even hear some like frogs croaking in the distance. It seems like things kind of came to life after all that rain. You see nothing really of note, like maybe a coyote crosses your path at one point, and just small critters and such. Dawn breaks the next day, and the Ambrosia Temple is approaching in the distance. You continue on. Nothing, like I said, nothing's out of place. Everything's pretty calm after the rain. You reach the Ambrosia Temple, and all is still. Just quiet. Maybe there's like a drip of some water from the rains the prior day. Everything's exactly as you saw it before.
All right.
Okay, so the plan was to put the water back into the basin?
Into the pool, yes.
Yeah.
I would say let's get about it, and I'll leave the Spectre outside, and I'll give a meaningful look at is it Valna?
Valna.
Volna.
And I'll just kind of turn to it and say, "Be gone," with a wet flick of my hand, and send it back to whence it came.
Free.
Spectre's gone.
Yep.
Valna looks about the temple and she says, "Something is amiss about this place. Where are the acolytes? Where are the priests? Where's the priest?"
Oh, the acolytes. Aren't they by the altar?
They were before. Well, they were near the statue.
She meant like there's no one walking around attending this temple.
But you didn't know, Valna, that the water had been stolen.
She didn't know that the acolytes or the priest. She doesn't know what happened to them. She was expecting them to be someone keeping watch over the place.
Yes, the acolytes failed their sacred duty to protect the water.
Do you tell her that they went to live in Morpheus's realm?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
After their complete failure, yeah.
All right, so she finds that to be incredibly
Cool,
interesting that there is a way to enter Morpheus's realm, and she pays reverence to the god. His petrified and statuified body as it rests there on the throne. She's really enraptured by it, and she just stands there at his feet, just absorbed in his stony presence.
Sure, don't help us move these barrels or anything. There's only like 20 of them.
She is completely enraptured by it. Kobe,
get to work.
Kobe's like, "Oh, I didn't know if we were gonna make it, but here we are. Whew, okay, let's get these barrels going."
Personnel to move them without her help. We got us. We got Kobe. We got.
Yes, Kivish. Yes, we do.
So you all get the barrels down. You one by one empty them out. They're all pretty heavy. I'm sure each one's a good 200-300 pounds. And you empty them one by one into the pool. It fills. It was 20 barrels, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So the pool fills most of the way, not entirely, but a good portion of it is filled. It was a lot of work, but you get it done. What do you do after that's filled?
Anyone here particularly associated with Morpheus, you may want to say a blessing or consecrate, or perhaps go and get one of his acolytes and see if they have something that they feel is needed.
I could go for a boon right about now. Are the acolytes still sleeping by the statue?
Remind me, did someone move their bodies?
No.
No.
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, it's been quite a few days if they're still in the dreamland.
Yeah.
They've been in the dreamland for a while.
Yeah.
They go
it's
into
been there for years.
suspended. Yeah. It kind of suspends them when they go there.
Nope, their bodies still age. Yeah,
I meant like they don't die of thirst or
they don't die of thirst and hunger, but time still passes for their physical vessels.
Yep.
Okay, so you didn't move the bodies last time. Okay, so in that case, their bodies are still there.
Well, he doesn't want me back in the dream realm. Is there any change to the water when we put it in there?
Nothing apparent.
I will cast Blink on myself and look at the water from the ethereal plane.
Interesting. It does look slightly different from the ethereal plane. You saw it before in
With the tentacle on it.
Yeah, in the attic of the Great Lodge, and it was kind of spooky. Here, it looks shimmery, and you see no presence of anything.
Shoot, I try not to look at Morpheus in the ethereal plane.
Say that again? You try
I try
not
not to look at Morpheus in the ethereal plane.
You try not to look at Morpheus. Okay, you don't want to look at him.
Just in case there's something about looking at a god on another plane of existence.
Okay. Lykarr, Kivish?
I want to go join the acolytes in the dream realm.
Okay.
I come back and I say, Lykarr, you should try bathing in the water and see if it
That's what I was
has any
going to do.
effect.
I was going to tell him when we were hiding in the rocks, I felt a strangeness about my affliction from her. So I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to hop in the pool.
If anything can help, this would be it. We've come this far.
I'm hoping.
Lykarr, you go to bathe in the pool. The water is refreshing. The mark upon your body has grown. It's like doubled the size from when you first stepped foot onto Merkelon's jaw. So it's now got like a good maybe third of your torso is covered with this strange black.
Oh boy.
This dark kind of horror looking Rorschach test, almost like that. And you get into the water and it's refreshing, and you're sitting there and nothing is immediately happening. And just about the moment when you start to feel frustrated, or you're maybe like, what do I need to do now? Like, what else? When there is a feeling of elation that overcomes you, and you feel this elation radiating from Morpheus, from the god, and you look to the statue, what is actually his petrified or calcified corpse, and the statue begins to weep. Tears sprout from its eyes, tears of joy, and the tears stream down the cheeks, along its chest, along the legs, and they stream into the pool, and they intermix, and you feel a warm, pleasant sensation, the same sort of sensation you felt while you were inside the dream world of Morpheus. But this time it fills you completely. It's not only an external sensation that you're picking up, but it radiates through your heart, through your belly, just into your marrow, all through you. And the darkness in your skin fades to nothing. And you feel a great sense of rejuvenation all throughout you. And you feel the blessing of Morpheus upon you.
Excellent. Very excellent. I was getting extremely worried about what might happen to me down in the long run there.
So you're saying you owe me a life debt now, right?
We'll see.
You all have each achieved 2 milestones.
All right.
Yeah.
Keep getting milestones.
That was worth it. It was a long trip getting there, but we did it.
Well played, very well played, and also some good luck on your side at various moments there too. So
Yeah.
Applaud for both skill and fortune.
Whew. I actually feel relief that my character is no longer afflicted.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because I was like, man, if this doesn't work, like we're gonna have to really quickly find a plan B.
Right. Right.
Yeah, this is plan. Yeah, this is plan B. Plan A was the
The prophetess.
prophet.
Yes. Yeah. But
Flowers bloom out of some cracks in the ground near the pool.
I'm just kind of like looking at this. I'm like, freaking gods. Yeah.
Does Noxiqual want Volna to be a crew member?
I have no. No, I don't.
Cool. I'm gonna see if I can talk her into staying here and helping guard the place.
She wants to go in the pool. She's making her way into the pool.
I won't stop her.
Do you go into the pool as well?
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
I suppose just gonna watch.
Kivish, I imagine in some part of you, you probably have some kind of fungal infection. And I don't know if you consider that a good thing or a bad thing. But it clears up.
Infection would be a bad thing. Edible fungi growing in like a pouch on his belt, good. But
Are you going in there like with all your clothes and your gear and everything?
Should probably strip down.
Probably.
Volna strips down.
Okay.
She doesn't show any kind of like hesitation. Or, to her, it's just like this is bathing in a sacred temple, of course.
All right. Kivish probably still looks fully clothed. It's just all hair.
All right. So probably somewhere on you there was some kind of malign, whatever, like the not symbiotic fungal infection. So that cures. But the one that's like, hey, yeah, you get you eat like my dead skin, and I get to eat your edible mushroom caps, and we're good. Those get a stay.
Well, infection by definition implies bad, but yeah.
Okay, there we go.
I think it does. Yeah.
Volna is overcome with joy in the water. She as well is crying. She just like has her head back, and she has like some tears of joy coming down her cheeks, and she seems to be luxuriating in the healing waters of Morpheus. Kivish. Give me a second here.
Sure. While you're doing that, Noxiqual just kind of walks away to the front of the temple. He's not really gonna jump in this water. He's not drinking the Kool-Aid of Morpheus.
Yeah, this is not quite his persuasion.
Yeah.
Give me a moment here. I'm reading a thing.
Take your time. I was thinking about how I could get some sort of benefit out of this all, but then I was like, my patron would probably be upset if I'm like gaining the boon of some other god.
Yeah, probably.
Patron's been good to me, so I'm not gonna. As long as he keeps being good to me, I've got nothing to complain.
And the first adventure of this whole campaign technically was Devil's Den.
Right.
Yep.
Even though it didn't get aired, but we still played it and we had a great time.
Oh yeah.
And you recovered your sword. You got your sword.
That
Sombra.
sword.
Yeah.
Hella great sword.
Yes. So that was
the reward.
No, I'm trying to think of your patron's actual name. What did we call him? This the masked one?
I don't know. Because here's the thing, I still have it down as the Eye of X.
The Eye of X. Oh no, that was just the placeholder name for the sword.
I know.
The sword is Sombra.
Yes.
I think your patron is the masked one.
The masked one? Okay.
Yeah, the masked one. So that sword already has started off with power, and that'll probably last you for a while. But I could imagine him increasing it again at a know, like down the line, but it's a good one for now.
Yeah.
All right. Kivish and Lykarr. You each have a chance here to commune with Morpheus in the pool, if you would so desire.
I give thanks to him for healing me. So
You offer thanks to the God of Dreams for this blessing, this magnificent blessing of healing. Make a wisdom check.
jeez. $16.
You hear the voice of Morpheus, and he says, "It is I who should be grateful to you. You are a hero. You have restored the pool of my temple. I was with a great sadness for a time that my own acolytes were unable to guard the location. But I bear them no harsh judgment. I know that the current era in Drakengrim is a harsh and unpredictable one, and what once was is no longer knowable. The foundations we once relied upon are no longer steady. I have now found peace in knowing that you all have restored the pool of my temple. I am in need of a new guardian, a stronger guardian for these times. Would you be the one to fill that role?"
At this time, I am not able to, but perhaps there is another one here who would like to be the guardian of the pool. The elf woman that sits in the pool with us. She is a devout follower and more worthy to guard the pool.
But does she possess the power, the might to fend off any intruders, foes, thieves? Do you trust in her capabilities as a champion?
I trust in her undying devotion to you that she will do whatever is necessary within her power to defend this place. And if I am around, I will also defend it for curing my affliction.
I understand that this is not your role. This is not your fate. She will help, but she cannot do it alone. Would you bring another guardian? Would you find one capable of protecting this temple? Would you bring to them my word, bring them my blessing?
Get the Dryad.
Oh, I was thinking of Brecca the Rock, but yeah.
If we find another one who is willing to, that we will sure recommend them to come down here.
Morpheus asks you if you will find a guardian, if you will find and bring a proper guardian to the Ambrosia Temple, or at least find one and send them here. Will you set this task? Will you find one who can take up this mantle? Valna will, but she can't do it alone. Valna does not have much power at this point. In terms of like combat power, she doesn't really have much. Morpheus asks if you will take up this task to appoint a new guardian. If you'll kind of be his representative, his blessing will be upon you. And when you anoint the new guardian, you will put his blessing upon that person as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'll see if I can find somebody and I'll get him down here.
So let's just hold that thought. We're in the middle of this. Kivish, what are you doing? You kind of feeling the presence. You're feeling the divine connection. You're probably especially feeling it, being that you're a circle of dreams.
Right. Yeah, I want to, well, what I'd really like to find out is how I could take some of this water back to the swamps around Norgal's Rock and make more of it in some small contained thing that I could watch over.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Make your wisdom check. I'll give you advantage for your Circle of Dreams affiliation.
Excellent. 20.
You are communing with Morpheus in a very direct and powerful sense. You can even see, like, almost in a vision in your mind, that you're standing there in his realm. You're standing before him. He tells you, outside of my temple, outside of this domain of mine, I cannot say what effect the Watchers will have. I fear they become perverted when in the land of dreams and nightmares, the land so tainted by Amarantha. And you know that there will be others who seek this water for their own purposes, but it will always come to exist only as a perverse shadow of what it once was. But I honor you for your role in helping to restore my temple. Would you be the guardian of the Ambrosia Temple? Will you take up that mantle? Valna will be at your side. I need someone to defend this place.
My home is in the lands around Norgal's Rock. If you could make your domain there, then I could be your guardian. But until or unless that, I am afraid I cannot, unless I have a way to come back here at a moment's notice. If you would give me a portal back here, that would be great. But
What fools these mortals be.
He says that he does not, at least at this current state, have a way of conquest or incursion into the Mer Queen's territory. So he asks you the same that he asks of Lykarr. Will you be my voice? Will you speak with my authority? Seek a new guardian, appoint him, give him my blessing. I will bless you, and you may anoint a new guardian of the temple and put my blessing upon him as well.
I agree to that.
So Lykarr and Kivish are both in agreement here. Morpheus.
Quest coming.
Yeah, so that's it. That is the quest, and it is going to be up to you all, sooner or later, to find someone and appoint this new guardian. Maybe it will be more than one guardian. He's really putting his trust into you, and he's putting his blessing upon you as well. And he says, to ask of him what you would, and if it is within his power, he will grant it to you. He is a god of healing, of nurturing, of slumber, of dreams. He's sort of a neutral good god.
I'm just amused by how quickly you guys give oaths. It's like, yeah, this seems like something would. Yeah,
I mean, to a god who does the thing that's my thing, it's pretty much a no-brainer.
Kivish feels a real connection with Morpheus. If it is not exactly his current path in life, I think he feels a sense of alliance with Morpheus. And Lykarr, I think Lykarr just goes along with whatever is going to help him.
Lykarr is very grateful for the healing. So
yeah,
Lykarr's has an ability as well to be communing with Morpheus. It's more limited compared to the Dream Druid, but he as well, Lykarr, you as well have the same exact offer to receive this blessing from Morpheus. So a blessing for health, for protection, for you tell me, what do you desire? What do you need? What will help you fulfill this quest of finding the new guardian?
When we find a person that is worthy, hopefully they can exhibit some good signs that we know that we're entrusting someone that's not going to take advantage. And while we're here with the pool and the waters, maybe we should try and stick the boy in the water.
Yeah. Also, so things that'll help us on our quest to find more guardians for the temple. I'm hearing boons. I'm hearing we're talking boons now.
Mm-hmm.
Are there boons to be discussed?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I don't know. Does he have like a standard boon pricing system, or like blank check?
Ever the industrious dwarf. So I'll give you some options here. Blessing of health, blessing of protection, blessing of understanding. I'm looking for another one that. Blessing of weapon enhancement, blessing of wound closure.
Is there anything like directly related to dreams and using them to my advantage?
Blessing of understanding. Your wisdom score will increase by 2.
Oh wow, that would make it an 18.
Mm-hmm. Is that your choice?
Well, I don't know. I'm usually not one for the things that just increase stats, but what would wound closure do?
If you ever fall to 0 hit points, you are stable. You're not dying. You're always stable. And whenever you roll your hit dice for recovering hit points, you recover twice the amount.
Interesting.
That could come in handy.
Yeah. 18 wisdom would increase my modifier. That would be nice. That would come in useful in a lot of cases. Perception and survival have been 2 commonly used skills so far. Yeah, I'm going to go with the wound closure. That's a little bit more thematic.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Morpheus places his hand upon you. He bestows upon you his blessing, as well as he puts his divine quest onto you, and you receive the blessing of wound closure at that moment. Lykarr, what do you feel? Do you want more health? Do you want more constitution? Protection will give you +1 to AC and saving throws. Understanding will be the wisdom. Weapon enhancement will give a +1 to the weapon. Wound closure is the same that Kivish just received.
I like the one for increased armor class and saving throws.
All right, the blessing of protection. Okay, so you feel the presence of Morpheus there in the pool. There's a sense of invigoration, of confidence, and this has given you a +1 bonus to armor class and saving throws. Volna puts Bowen into the pool, and Bowen as well recovers. The boy shouts. He's kind of thrashing, and then he calms down and he starts laughing. And soon he's just playing in the water like a child, and just talking about he wants to go home. He misses his parents, and he recovers his fragmented soul.
Yeah,
Good.
some good water.
Yes.
If only I could bottle just a little bit of this.
Yeah, did you save a little bit back there?
It would become a perverse mockery.
It would become a perverse mockery, but If only I could do it. Oh well.
No. I think this would be a good place to wrap up the session for the evening, unless anyone has any final, like immediate pertinent notes to this scene.
Do you guys tell me that you're looking for someone to like be the guardian?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
We see no reason why not to keep lugging you around on these things. So if you're going to be there, we might as well know where we're going.
Well, at least till we get back to my ship, then we'll discuss things. Why not the cactus,
Thornessa.
Thornessa.
Yeah.
She even said, almost verbatim, like, can I like sell up for a better patron than my current company? But she didn't believe that Morpheus would do it.
Wasn't she kind of sarcastic about that, or?
Well, yeah, but
she was a bit prickly about that.
Yeah, but wasn't she like, she seemed skeptical that Morpheus actually could like provide that?
That's
I thought. But I don't know.
Well, you just might get to encounter her again along the way.
Ultimately, we can always send someone back later, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Brecca the Rock, you could always try her.
Yeah.
I mean, she's powerful. She's gonna, fucking mess anyone up that tries to mess with the temple.
Mm-hmm.
I can only imagine if she takes a bath, how much stronger she'll be.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, Lykarr thanks both Kivish and Noxiqual for going on this journey to help them get cured.
Yeah, I guess I didn't get much out of this, though.
Kivish is always happy to help a friend in need and hopes that should he ever need something, he can count on them. Because if he needs something, it might, well, be problematic. Deadly.
I'll say it was a lot of fun. I did lose one of my crewmates, though. And I didn't really make much profit on this. So...
No, the wedding dowry seemed to have been waylaid in the flight out of Horncombe Lodge, but I don't think that is really a concluded thing there.
It's true.
Yeah,
I feel like
there's still some loose ends with Horncombe.
Yes, definitely.
So we can talk about that here in the coming days or in the coming week or so. Where's the party's next trajectory? What are you going to do with Horncombe Lodge and other such questions? Does anyone else have anything that's like immediate this very moment, having just received the healing and the blessings of Morpheus?
I got nothing. I've already looked over this place. Unless we're going down to the catacombs.
No,
I think we're good.
Was there any bodies down there of people that were against Morpheus?
Yeah, I think so.
We could drag them up and give them to Econ.
Yeah. Good.
He's been nice to us. Let us go running around on his turf here.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You want to take up the slumbering thieves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, they're still alive.
Yeah.
That's some pretty, like, that's beyond even my mind, but yeah.
Make Keycon very happy.
Yeah.
That's some evil shit. Yeah. Well, let's discuss it over the next session. I think now is a good stopping point because I don't have anything in particular.
Yep.
Okay. I'm for that. Thank you guys very much. It was another great session. As always, there are twists and turns, and I love all the unexpected things that happen.
Thank you for just running with my crazy ideas, Esper, because I don't plan like that. Like, the whole escape was completely on the spur of the moment.
I loved it. That's the memorable, creative moments that that's the reason why I game. I love it.
I totally could see that in like the movie moment too, of like them being like inches away from discovering us. We're all ready to hit them, and it's just like, nah, let's get out of here.
Yeah, thanks, Vesper. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you as well, Dennis. It was a blast.
Okay.
And for everybody who's been watching, thank you for following along. And this campaign is going to continue, so we'll see where the party is going to head next and what they're going to do. So, stay along with us, and we're probably going to explore other areas of Dreckengrim. Thanks once again, everyone.
For sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, good night.